Well, with respect to the Republican process and Mr. Trump, I just want to emphasize the degree to which we are in serious times, and this is a really serious job. This is not entertainment. This is not a reality show.
Station, this is your president. Do you hear me? Tell me, Mars, what do you see a timing for actually sending humans to Mars? Is there a schedule, and when would you see that happening?
I will get your ass to Mars. I will get your ass to Mars.
And what are we learning from having you spending your time up there? I know so much research is done. I'm getting a glimpse of some of it right here in the Oval Office. What are we learning by being in space?
Well, I think probably the International Space Station is providing a key bridge from us doing living on Earth to going somewhere into deep space. So on those Mars missions, we need to better understand how microgravity is really affecting our body, and we need to understand it in great detail. So many of the studies are looking at the human body. We're also looking at things that involve operations of a space vehicle on these long-duration missions.
Look at that! Your spaceship! Juvenile delinquent?
And the technological advancements that will be required. For instance, on a...
That spaceship has a built-in defense against radar, missiles, and even gamma rays. But against ice cream cones, it's helpless.
Multi-year Mars mission, we're going to need to be able to close the life support system. And that means we, right now, for instance, are taking solar power that we collect and using it to break apart water into oxygen and hydrogen. The oxygen we breathe, of course, we use the hydrogen, combine it back with the CO2 that we take out of the air and make more water. But water is such a precious resource up here that we also are cleaning up our urine and making it drinkable. And it's really not as bad as it sounds.
Mellow yellow, there's nothing mellow about highs. There's nothing mellow about thirsty Mountain Dew won't do. Mellow yellow,
The better thirst quencher.
there's nothing mellow about it.
Floaty ball form, and sir, it was delicious. So it's awesome.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Better you than me.
If you're just joining us now, you missed a brilliant speech. We go now live to the street to find out what the voters think. These worked a miracle. I just now bought a brand new car. God bless the Indian summer. God bless the Indian summer. God bless the Indian summer.
Do you really think they're going to try and actually fake landing humans on Mars? I know it seems kind of crazy, but I know guys like Mark Sargent say that there's just no way that they could try and pull that off, but I don't know. You watch stuff like this and what they're doing right now, and despite the fact that the cat's out of the bag or whatever, and so many people know about it and more people are waking up, the show goes on. Watching this little presidential press conference with the ISS yesterday. Stuff like this now is just seriously profoundly surreal. You got your fake puppet president talking to people hanging on wires in their fake space station, sitting next to a fake woman astronaut, talking about fake missions to Mars. I mean, who knows what state the world will be in the 2030s or whenever they are supposedly talking about going to Mars. But you just look at what they're doing right now. I mean, you got this bozo sitting in the Oval Office talking to people through a video conference to, it's a studio. It's a Donald Trump of all people. The truth really is stranger than fiction. Oh my goodness. I mean, when I learned about 9/11, it was a shock to the system. You're kind of mourning the sense of reality, and you're mourning like how there could be such evil and deceitful people in the world, and how so much of what you thought was a lie. But watching stuff like this, it's a different kind of mourning you go through. You're just mourning the loss of reality altogether, mourning the sense that watching the world just turning into a complete quote-unquote reality show. It boggles the mind. I can't even believe what I'm watching anymore. Donald Trump. It really does feel like they're just making a mockery out of the public in so many ways. So yeah, going to Mars. Let's go. We've been pumping out the Hollywood propaganda. Obama talked about it. Trump's talking about it. The astronauts on the ISS are talking about it. It's time to go to Mars. Let's go to Mars.
That's right, because it was 85 before the Challenger accident and before the study pioneering the space frontier.
Yep.
Because in a couple of early pages, he had cycling orbits delivering people from Earth to Mars.
The bridge between worlds.
That's what it was called.
Your mind. It is the center of your life. It is everything you hear, everything you see, everything you feel. It is everything you are. How would you know if someone stole your mind?
bridge between worlds.
Movie makers have been placing humans in stasis to send them to faraway places for decades. Now scientists are moving closer to making this a reality for space travel. NASA has partnered with aerospace engineering firm SpaceWorks Enterprises in Atlanta to study how humans could be put into a prolonged deep sleep while they're traveling to Mars. Using technology available today, the journey from Earth to the Red Planet would take about 180 days. Keeping a crew of people alive for that long requires a lot of food, water, and energy. NASA and SpaceWorks scientists believe that putting the crew in a deep sleep, called torpor, could dramatically reduce the cost of human expedition to Mars.
By putting the crew in this torpor state, we not only reduce their consumables, their oxygen and food requirements, we also minimize the type of support systems that we need en route to Mars. So they don't need a large, voluminous habitat to occupy themselves in. Going there, we can put them in a very small container and consequently then save mass, save on power, and enable us to get to Mars easier. We want to put our resources on Mars, not spend a lot just to get there.
In a state of torpor, metabolic and physiological activity in humans are drastically slowed down. To put them into stasis, the scientists would reduce a crew member's body temperature by about 5 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit, for instance through a nasally inhaled coolant. During stasis, the crew would be fed through an IV tube, and to wake them up, the flow of cooling agent would be stopped. Doctors have been inducing therapeutic torpor or hypothermia in critical care trauma patients in hospitals for years, but typically patients stay in that state for just a few days to give their bodies time to recover. One of the challenges for scientists is how to extend the time humans can remain in stasis with minimal effects on the human body. They say an alternative might involve a shift system where crew members rotate through cycles of being awake and in deep sleep. There are other challenges as well.
One area we have not touched is kind of psychologically with the crew, and there's concerns and big challenges there with having people in a very small area, basically fairly isolated from the world. And typically spaceflight is fairly challenging for things like muscle atrophy, bone demineralization effects from this zero gravity environment. But we believe the reduced metabolic state will mitigate some of those effects and will actually slow those down.
The scientists believe that putting crew members in a torpor state could reduce the cost of Mars missions by 50%, which would ultimately give them the opportunity to do more missions and send more people to the Red Planet.
Hope you enjoyed the ride. Hey, Quaid!
Gary.
How was your trip to Mars?
What trip?
You went to recall, remember?
I did?
Yeah, you did. I told you not to, but you went anyway.
What are you, my father?
Come on, I'll buy you a drink.
Get your ass to Mars. 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 Get your ass to Mars.
You brought me fruits or vegetables on the planet. 2 weeks. Excuse me? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Get ready for a surprise!
Party Richter, 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 Party Richter.
Open your mind, open your mind, open your mind, open your mind.
Floaty ball form